Hey everyone, this is Grant, and today I'm going to do a different kind of a video. I received, as you can see standing there in the back, proudly displayed, a brand new 3-inch box for Space Empires from GMT Games. As you can see, I've got splayed out here on the table my collection of Space Empires. I've got my base game, which is the third printing. It is in a 2-inch box. I've got Space Empires, which is also a second printing. It's in a 2-inch box as well. And then I've got Replicators, which is a second expansion, and it is in a 2-inch box as well. That's the first printing of that. So these are two expansions. This is the base game, and then this is the new 3-inch box. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to show you the box really quick. So you can see, very iconic picture. This is what I think of when I think of Space Empires. You can see the 4X there. But this is that 3-inch box. And look at that. That's a big box. I'm going to go ahead and show you, compared to the 2-inch box, that's what you've got. You know, it's only 1 extra inch, but it just seems like it's massive. So anyway, what I'm going to try to do today, I'm going to throw this back here, and I know it may seem like a fool's errand, and it may be completely impossible. I'm going to try to pull some magic here, though, and get all the contents of the 2 expansions and the base game into this 3-inch box. And I'm going to try to get it in there, and it may not, the lid may not close. But I think the principle that I'm going to try to show is that there's a lot of stuff in this game. For those of you that have the base game and have the 2 expansions, you know there's a lot of stuff in this game. Lots of counters, maps, boards. You got dice in there. You've got terrain tiles in Space Empires Close Encounters expansion. You've got cards. You've got Empire Advantage cards, tech cards. There's just no end to this stuff in these games. It is amazing. Each side, there are 4 different players in this game. Each side has about 40 different units, 40 different unit types, and then there's 6 to 8 of each of those units. So there's a lot of stuff. I believe my base game is in counter trays. I believe Close Encounter is mostly in counter trays. I think I have a baggie or 2. And then Space Empire's Replicators, I recently just punched it. I have not had a chance to organize it into my counter trays. We've played with it. Alexander has it. So anyway, there's a lot of stuff here. So let's see what we're going to do. We'll see if this is going to happen. I know it won't. But you know what? It's going to be fun to try. So first I'm going to open the box, and man, that's tight. Probably too tight. I'm having tough time getting that sucker open. Let's go ahead and splay that out there here. It's going to be hard to really show all this. There's just so much stuff. I'm going to put the top of the box over there. And then I'm going to go ahead and open each of my 3-inch boxes. I've got mounted map boards. I mean, it's freaking ridiculous. Sorry, you're gonna see me dive in the front there. So, yeah, and I said the terrain tiles were in this box. I actually have them in that box. So anyway, I'm going to try to fit that stuff in this 3-inch box. Not going to happen, but let's pray for a miracle. So here is the mounted map board. It's big. Frankly, I love mounted map boards, but I'm going to be honest. I would rather have a paper map for this game, only because I can put my plexiglass on top of it, and I probably would then be able to fit everything in this 3-inch box. So there's a scenario book. I'm going to take these dice. I'm going to put those there. So remember I mentioned to you that I have most of my units here in counter trays. So these are the yellow and the red. And I've got the blue and the green here. Let's pull and then these are administrative counters. Once again, this is a fool's errand. I know it is. So there's my blue and my green. And in here is represented the base game with the Close Encounters expansion. I don't have the replicators stuff in here. I just have those in baggies. So let's go ahead and put those counter trays, and look at that. You know, it's already full. Let's just go ahead and stop. This is ridiculous. It's not going to work. Man, I mean, here's the flipping rule books alone. So I've got the rule books here with one of the pads, because if you know anything about this game, what you end up doing is you write down your economy every turn. You write down what you're spending that on, and then you track at the bottom your tech progression. So you can see I've got those things circled, which means, for instance, I've got the 4 circled there on the ship size. That means I bought up to the 4 ship size. If you don't buy up to the 4 ship size, you can't get like the cruisers and the battle cruisers and those kind of things. So you have to buy up those. But here is just the, I've actually got one of those sheets in there. I'm going to put that in there, and I've got a bunch of copies of the Alien economic sheet. I've made some copies of that. But you can see, guys, it's already ridiculous. I can't even fit really anything else. I did get both counter trays, the board, and most of the rule books. Let's go ahead and dig out the rule books. I'll just keep showing you here what's going on. I know this is a totally ridiculous and silly video. Here are the rule books for Close Encounters. So there's 2 more rule books and a playbook scenarios. So I'm going to throw those on there. I've got another pad. The good thing about these pads are they build on themselves. So you could literally get rid of them, because it kind of builds on itself. For instance, this one in this expansion has research centers, and it's got a pad if you're using the research centers. It's also got a pad if you're not using the research centers. That's the other good thing I like about these expansions. You can take away or add the different elements that you want to play with. So if you don't want to play with the whole thing, you don't put it in the game. Easy as that. They did add the battle board in, they did add the battle board in Close Encounters, and it's pretty nice. Just helps keep things straight. There's some more player aids. I'm going to put those on there. And then here you've got these fleet sheets. It's just a way for you to track what you've got in these different fleets to make it a little easier. If you've played this game and you've played a long version of the game, what ends up happening is you get stacks of counters about this big. There's 8 or 10 units. You can put those on here, turn them upside down so that your opponents can't see them. But then you kind of understand, oh, I'm going to put this counter out there and track that, the Bringers of Sorrow, and you can know what you've got in that way. So there we've got those rule books. Let's go ahead and get the replicators, and it's just impossible. I'm not going to be able to do this. But I wanted to show you this because Space Empires is one of my favorite games because it's just so cool. There's so much stuff. There's so much variety. And I really like the fact that they have expansions that you can add in, take away, and just use parts of. So here's the rule book for the replicators. And then a whole bunch of other things. There's new ship units. You got a new pad. I can go ahead and put that on there. So you can see that right now, guys. Just with the 2 counter trays, all the rule books, the player aids, the different battle boards, the different player boards and unit boards, it's full. It's actually over the top, and the board's in there. So now, I mean, I've got 2 big bags of cards. I can't even, I mean, there's no need even to try that. Here's all the administrative counters from the base game. You've got your battle markers, and then these are your different elements, your damage markers. You've got some of the special planets, the nebula. You've got the white tokens that are kind of hidden out in deep space that you're going to go ahead and explore. So I can kind of splay those out like that. Here are the aliens in a bag. I'm going to go ahead and put that there. Remember I said that I didn't have the counters from the Replicators expansion. They're in baggies. I probably could fit these into those counter trays. I would just basically have to jam them. I think basically there's not a lot of room there, but that's okay. Here are the Replicators. They're a usable faction, but you can also use them as an AI and play a solo game. So there's an entire bag. It's basically just another faction. I could put those in a counter tray. But here are the Space Amiibos. I think this was from the second game, so Close Encounters. It's a solo variant. You can use those. I've never tried that. I have played solo as the Doomsday Machine. Here's some different things. Galactic Capitals, other counters, and then these are colonies. So as you build your colony up, you're going to get from 1 to 3 or 1 to 5. I think the highest 1 to 3, and then you've got your starting planets in there. So you can see there's quite a mound of stuff. You know, my 4 dice, which are 10-siders, 2 of them are orange, 2 of them are black. Yeah, not going to fit. These are the coolest things. These came in the Close Encounters. These are the terrain tiles. You know, you can see on there, there's asteroids. So these actually kind of make the game a little cleaner. You simply put those down to represent the terrain or the whatever's inhabiting that sector, and then you don't have 15 counters sitting there representing those things. We really liked these. We've used them a couple of times as we've played. So there we go. I've kind of got everything stacked, and look how ridiculous that is. I'm gonna pan back here and just show you that it's utterly ridiculous. I know. So dun da da da. Here comes the big 3-inch box. I'm gonna try to fit that in there. Oh my goodness, it's just not gonna work. So there you go. That's my attempt. I would need basically a 6-inch box for all of that to fit in there, which would have been really cool. Or maybe there's some of you out there that are engineers. You could take 2 3-inch boxes, somehow cut the bottom out of one of them, whatever, merge them together, probably weld the corners together with glue, and then you would be able to potentially add the 2 tops together somehow to make a bigger box. And I know there's people out there like you that are going to be able to do that, but that's what I got. So I'm pretty proud of myself. That's not going to fit on my shelf, just going to be completely honest. So I guess what I'm saying is I really thought the 3-inch box was going to be awesome, and it is really awesome, don't get me wrong. It's just not awesome enough. Maybe they need to do a 3-inch box for the base game, and then do a separate 3-inch box that would incorporate the 2 expansions. You know, that would incorporate Close Encounters. These are the box bottoms. You know, that would incorporate Replicators and Close Encounters. You know, if you could figure out how to get those and their own 3-inch box. Oh, you add 2 and 2 together, you got a 4-inch box there, right? I'm good at math, if you didn't know. So yeah, this was an impossibility. I knew it was, unless I had a space continuum or a black hole or something that ignored the laws of physics and space and time. I might have been able to do it and fit it in there, or maybe a portable bag of holding or a portable hole, something like that. But I've also heard, now it's a rumor, I think I read this on BGG several years ago, that the designer Jim Crone is working on a 3rd expansion. Whether that's going to be an official expansion or it's going to be a fan-made I'm not sure. But I had read that. I wish I could find the source, because I'd be more confident about it, but I did read it. I love Space Empires. I'm excited about that. Any more expansions are just better. Now once again, the thing that bothers me about the expansions is you add them and it just adds more time to the game. You know, Alexander and I have played this 2-player several times, and it takes 3 to 4 hours. Then you add in all the expansions, it's going to take 5 to 6 hours. If you had 4 players, You're talking about a 10, 12, 14-hour game, which there's nothing wrong with that if you have a weekend. But the game at that point gets pretty huge. So it's a great game. If you don't know much about Space Empires, I recommend you get a copy. It's a great game. Just know that the 3-inch box isn't necessarily going to help you and do what you need it to do. So that's my video tonight. I thought it was going to be a fun thing. Now I got to organize all this stuff again and fit them back into these boxes and put them back on my shelf. I'm going to retain and hold on to my copy of that 3-inch box, but I'm not sure that it's going to be really usable. I would also love to see, as I mentioned, GMT make a 3-inch expansions box. I think that'd be pretty cool. So that's what I've got for you tonight. I've been Grant for the Player's Aid.